Hello everybody, back again with another review. This one's long overdue for me to actually do a review on. I've been having it sitting in the box sealed over in the corner, but today is the day. And one difference right off the bat I actually realized is it says 17 plus. I'm sure that has something to do with guns because we finally have guns again. It makes sense because Jonah Hex I feel like is not complete unless you actually give him guns. So that's great to see, and that's probably how they're able to pull it off, is by doing 17 plus. Who knows, it's sometimes complicated behind the scenes, but this is DC Multiverse Jonah Hex and the General, which is a gold label exclusive to the McFarlane toy store, and it is a part of the collector edition line. This is the regular version, this is not the platinum version. We'll get into more of the details of what's included later on this video, but just now we'll go over the box. So when you flip it around, gonna have to zoom out because this is one hefty box. So you get Jonah Hex and the General All-Star Western, and once again it is a part of the collector edition, and it says it's number 1 in the line. I don't know if that's like something different. I joined and collected this line since honestly the very end of November last year, so I don't know if there's already a number 1 or if this is like some type of new collector edition line and it is number 1. I don't really know. I guess I'll figure out with one of your comments, so please comment down below if you do know more details about it and have been into this line longer than I have. And then here is the back of the box, aka the art. Really like the art here. It's really does give kind of like the Western vibe, the coloring vibe, with all the details just really show kind of like that Western style. So I actually really like this artwork and how they fit both the horse and Jonah Hex in it. I guess we should see how it looks on the card. Hopefully they didn't chop too much of it out. And then it's funny, right here it says 17 plus and not a toy, and I guess that's probably because it has guns. Once again, find ways around it in order to finally include guns in. And then here on the side of the box, you're gonna get Jonah Hex and the General. Once again, DC Multiverse there at the top and number 1 at the bottom. There's really no point for me to actually show the barcode because you can only get it from the McFarlane toy store. So there's no reason to show it because that's the only reason to get access to it. Now let's actually open it on up and get more into the figure. There's definitely a lot to uncover with what's included in this figure, so be ready for a pretty long video just going over all the details and seeing what there is. Starting off, first thing you're gonna get is something you've seen time and time again, the basic display stand, but it is collector edition, so therefore the logo is silver, 1 foot peg, and the very thinness of it. And then I'll show off the card. And one thing I gotta say right off the bat is usually when they do the card, it seems like they trim off a lot of the detail, but instead of it being horizontal, it is now vertical, and they're able to capture pretty much all the artwork on here in the card. So that's very nice to see that they went and shrunk it down and made it actually look reasonable. And then here is the bio. If you feel like reading it, go ahead and pause the video for yourself. Next thing that I'll go over is his holsters attached to a belt, so therefore you can put the guns in there. Just kind of basic. The brown detailing going around here. Other than that, yeah, there's some gold kind of there on the little belt. Everything else is just a regular brown color, so pretty much basic and simple, but at least it's included. Now let's get into the actual weapons. So first, I'll go over the little axe he has. So silver, nice silver detail. Other than that, it's pretty much just kind of like a black plastic, but there's some texturing to kind of give it that more wood like texture, I guess you can say. So that's nice. Just a little more close up. There you go. And it looks to be a reasonable size, not like oversized compared to most. Now getting into his actual pistols, you'll get 2 of them, as you can see here. But just for reason being, I'm gonna show off one. Nice silver detail going around, actually looks like a gun, and then kind of a brown slash tannish like mixture going on here for the handle. And there's no, I guess you can say, trigger besides an area where he may be able to put his finger in. So that kind of sucks, kind of takes away from the real aspect, but once again, how's he gonna get a finger through there if you include it? Next weapon is something we've basically seen with a lot of figures that suffer from the no guns inclusion, and that is just a knife, kind of oversized. Dang near looks like a miniature sword because of how oversized it is, and then it just kind of has a white or a creamy color handlebar or handle, and that just silver, and then the handle is a different color. Then another inclusion that we've seen time and time again with characters that should have guns is a sword. Just gold around the handle and then silver for the actual sword. Makes sense. And then just the typical texturing going on for the handle there. And last but not least, the last weapon is his rifle or shotgun. I'm not a professional on guns, but that's what's included. And then you just got the brown detail there to more look like wood. Once again, no trigger as well, just like the other pistols. More wood texturing going on here. And then the rest is just a silver color. And one of the MVPs of this is the horse. We try to fit him all in screen because he is pretty massive, if I'm being honest. So there's definitely a lot of detail, but it is a really, and I mean really large horse. So I highly doubt there's going to be like issues with, I guess, realistic sizing or scale. I think it is great. There's a lot of detail. You got the horse head. You can see kind of like the fur look there on the head. The nice face sculpt, the eyes. Then going around, more of the horse, the saddle as well, all the texturing and detail. Definitely a kind of like, not hard plastic. The horse is more of a hard and sturdy plastic, so that's great to see. Also pretty realistic when you think about it. Then good thing they didn't include, you know, a certain area down here, because that would be probably sticking out pretty much. And then you got the nice texturing here to represent the tail. There's just a lot of detail going on here. And just for the top view, more texturing that can be shown. Ears as well are nice. And let me see if they'll, yep, they're pretty durable, so they shouldn't just break off unless you really beat on it. And another great thing is that there's articulation. So I'm gonna go over articulation basically twice in this video. And hopefully I don't miss all the areas of articulation, because I'm sure I will, because it's the first time I've actually had like a horse from McFarlane. When it comes to the tail, that's one obvious one you can see there. So you should be able to raise it up a little bit like so. Then pull down and get it in between the legs like that. And then side to side movement, no issue there, not too tight, not too loose. And then when it comes to the actual legs, there you go. There you got articulation kind of in the front leg. See how high it can go. Looks like that's as high as you're going to be able to get it. I don't want to break it because it technically is a lot of the cost in with this figure. And then just normal down like that. Then when it comes to the knee, see how far it can go. About right there, looks like 90 degrees. Put it back into place. Then when it comes to, oh, looks like there's actually more articulation here. So basically what would be the thigh cut on a regular figure, I guess you can say, I don't know, ankle, lower leg cut, whatever you want to call it. And then here on the foot, more articulation as well. Trying to move it without moving the upper parts. So it looks like that's as far as you're going to be able to get it. Almost 9 degrees, but not quite. And then forward, basically the same, 90 degrees. There you go. And then you can do it side to side. And there's no toe articulation because that'll look weird, especially on a horse. And then the back legs, you get articulation like so, but then it gets interrupted by the saddle. Then going back, definitely a lot more movement, which is to be expected. There you go. Seems to be as far as it's going to go. And then you're going to get the same articulation as you do on the front leg. I just wanted to show off what it's capable of on the back leg, since it is more obvious of a cut there at the top, but partially blends in. Then when it comes to the head, be able to get some side movement. Actually, it doesn't seem like side much. Actually, here on the upper head, there you go. Like I said, it's first time, so I'm definitely going to struggle trying to find all the articulation areas. There you go. Looks like you can go to the side that much. Go to the side about this much. Then comes the raising the head. You can't really raise the actual head. Going down is about the same story. Actually, there is some movement, but not quite a whole bunch. Comes to the ears. I don't know if there's articulation. I'm not going to try it. Seems like it's not. But you can also get the head to go up, and that's as high as you can get. Pretty much what it came looking like. And then you're going to be able to get to go down about this much. It's quite a lot of movement there. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all the articulation covered on the horse. But yes, you're going to be able to attach Jonah Hex here on the top. But it could potentially be loose. And then there's holsters as well. You can include the guns in, put the guns in. And this is where Jonah Hex's feet will go. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers the horse. So let me actually get into the reason you're all here is for Jonah Hex himself. Although the horse is pretty cool. So when in doubt, you want to see that as well. Now here we go. I can zoom in a little more since I don't have to deal with the horse anymore until later on in the video. There's a lot of detail. You got soft goods here for the jacket. And that's pretty much the only soft goods you'll get on this figure. You can honestly probably take it off, but I'm gonna keep mine on. And you got the texturing there for the actual shirt. Nice belt buckle there. Some texturing going on for the belt. And actually you can replace this belt for the one that it came with. I'll probably just keep it this way just because it could potentially create a long video trying to get it off, but I'm sure there's a way. Should be able to attach it. I saw some people seem like they struggled though from other groups I'm in, so that's probably something to be kind of like ready for, is if you want to replace it with the other one, it's going to take quite a while. And then you get this pretty cool face sculpt going on here. Honestly, Jonah Hex. Honestly, the first time I heard about this character, I just thought of basically he's like a old Western Two-Face is how I've always kind of like looked at him. Yeah, those in the comments are probably going crazy now about my comment there, but that's basically that's like my logic when I turn in terms of thinking of like other and comparing him to another DC character. So like a what if Two-Face was Western instead of kind of gangster. In terms of underneath, just kind of the same detail going on there. Belt, buckle, and holster once again. And the jeans, you got some detail going on there. I don't know if you can see the difference in color, but kind of gives that worn color look to it, and worn jeans. The boots also has some nice paint application there to make them a little dirty, and also show he's been walking in sand. Nice, same goes with the boots. The only thing that seems like it's not really adding some different paint application, making it look dirty, is the shirt. At least it's not super noticeable. And the hat as well, you're gonna see kind of the same paint application and give it that worn look. So I really like that. Definitely gives off the old Western vibe. Now let's get into the actual articulation. When it goes side to side, the collar will get in the way, so it's more like if you turn him side, he's going to be looking up. But you can do a 360 if you feel like doing so. Looking up, quite a great range of looking up. Looking down, about this much. It's kind of normal. Comes to the arm. be able to do 360, but when we do 360, it's going to get the cloth to actually fall off because it gets in the way. Same probably goes, there's probably a bicep cut. Yes, there's a bicep cut, so you get range of motion there. Comes to the elbow, it's probably also going to get in the way. Actually, it didn't seem like it did there, so there you go. Saw it for yourself, doesn't really get in the way. Bicep cut's definitely hidden there, as you already saw as well. Comes to the actual hand, full rotation, 360 if you feel like doing so. And then going down, seems like it pretty much only goes down this much. Going up this much, it's not like a crazy amount. Comes to the upper of the torso, full range of motion, no issue, not too tough, not too loose. Down the waist, full range of motion as well, no issue there. Comes to ab crunch, about this forward, backwards, about this much. And that's one thing, is that with the soft goods, you can't really see if there's any exposure on the inside when you do move him around, but it looks like they did a great job making sure there was no exposure of the insides here. Then you do, looks like, get a little cut up here in the upper thigh. Little tough, but not like super crazy amount of tough. Almost forgot the splits, but you're probably not going to be able to get much because of the holsters and the belt. That's about as much as you're going to get. And then when it comes to the knee, let's see how far it can go. Try to move that out of the way. There you go. Pretty great. Pretty much the furthest it can go on any other figure. Moving it back. I'm always scared when I try moving it back, somehow something's going to snap. That's just a common fear for me. It's not like McFarlane's that bad. Goes side to side. You heard some cracking there, so it seems like it's a little stiff. Probably requires some hot water just to be safe. So you saw movement there. Going down. I don't want to push it. It seems like it's not willing to budge. So it looks like it's not really much range of motion in the actual foot, but you do get toe articulation, as you can see. Seems definitely like it's stiff, so that's probably somewhere you want to apply hot water or put it underneath like a, I don't know, just some way to heat it up so therefore it doesn't crack like that and can loosen up the plastic. Other than that, that's pretty much the figure. I think it looks pretty great, and I'll get into my final thoughts here soon. The horse really makes this worth it, I feel like it. Just because of all the detail, how girthy it is, and because of how girthy it is, it's not going to fit on the turntable when I usually do that. So it's just going to be Jonah Hex. I just want to put that right out there right away. There's definitely a lot of detail and so many cool options and poses I guess you can do because of the horse. But also Jonah Hex, all the detail is fantastic. The only thing is that I feel like they could have done some of the same paint application they did on the jeans, on the shirt to give it a little more dirty look. Other than that, the face sculpt is pretty great. I really like that face sculpt. Makes it really imposing and intimidating, no creepy smile, just like we've seen on some other figures and really ruined those. In this case, so it's not. The horse, that face detail is amazing as well. All the posability you can have with the horse is also amazing. As you can see, there's one leg that's actually up. The rest are down. I don't know how it would go if there's two legs up, one in the front, one in the back. But overall, I feel like it keeps its weight. I guess that's something that you guys can determine for yourself behind the scenes, and myself, is if it can actually hold up with two legs and only two legs on the ground. Jonah Hex, there's a lot of details. The only thing is I feel like more alternate hands could have been pretty cool. Yes, he does hold guns a lot, so those are probably good hands, but I think it would have been always a good option to include is more hands. And I could have honestly gone without the sword and the smaller knife or kind of oversized knife to have the option of extra hands, just because we've seen those time again, and I feel like those weren't really needed. In this case, the axe is needed though, from my personal opinion. There's just so much detail going on here, so many possibilities, and I'm glad McFarlane really made this, especially of the first ever Jonah Hex they made. So many great options and choices. I absolutely kind of really like this. Price tag for some may not be the best, but for me, I feel like it's worth it. The shipping is obviously from McFarlane Toy Store, so that's also something to consider because sometimes it gets out of hand. Overall, I feel like this is really worth the money. There's a lot of detail all around, so many options, possibilities, great accessories and inclusions. I just wish maybe they had, for example, extra hands that I just mentioned. But if you're going to pick this up, I would pick it up. I would say it's probably a 9.6 out of 10 from me, just because of the hand and not adding the same dirty look to make it consistent on the shirt. And that is very great. And that's going to wrap today's review. If you did enjoy this review, please like, comment, and subscribe down below for more future content. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.